So, as many of you know, I received a lot of really disturbing, shall we say, fan mail while waiting for a diagnosis to see if I had cancer or not in a hospital yesterday. And I thought about what to do about it, and I think I'm actually going to answer my fan mail because it would make it funny instead of horrible. So, I'm going to go bit by bit. So, the first piece of mail comes from Aaron's an abuser at mailinator.com. Leave Gabby alone and remove the videos featuring her pictures. Okay, well, I'll address that bit by bit. Leave Gabby alone. That's would you mean not go on her YouTube channel and post a bunch of menacing comments? Sure, I agree to that. Remove the videos featuring her pictures. Well, those pictures are up there. If you're talking about the one that's a little risque with the censorship, it's because there was some kind of implication that it was sort of like a creeper kind of thing, where I was infatuated with her physically and she wasn't reciprocating. And since the inverse was true, I felt it was necessary to demonstrate that so we could have a good example of Darvo. This piece of mail comes from Aaron's a stinky security guard at mailinator.com. And this one says, take down your videos and go to a hospital for your own sake, if not your family's. This one actually hurts a lot because my family doesn't give a shit about me. So also the security guard stuff is outdated. I wonder where you're getting your information. By the way, this is all the same person, but anyway. Delusion. This one comes from Go to the Hospital. And it's titled Delusions and Psychosis. Go to a hospital, stop harassing Gabby. I think we've addressed that one. I don't like repeat fan mail. This one is from Seek Help at mailinator.com. You need to go to the hospital and remove the videos you've made harassing Gabby. So I'm going to address this one a little bit. My videos are not harassing Gabby. The only way Gabby is aware of these videos is if she comes on here and views them. And sadly, there's not a whole lot of people beyond that making activity on this channel. I'd love to answer some real fan mail sometime, but here we are. Let's see. This one comes from Seek Help. Oh, wait, no, sorry, we already did that one. This one comes from Leave Gabby Alone at mailinator.com. You're deluded. You stalked Danielle and you're doing it again to Gabby. So, there was this situation where when I was younger, with this ex-girlfriend of mine, Danielle, and I regret it deeply. It was a situation where it's actually eerily similar but reversed. She became aware of some questionable internet activity I had with regards to trolling and other stuff, and I decided the appropriate way to do it was to scare her into being quiet, and it's the biggest regret of my life. I talk about it a lot. What sucks is that Gabby, would listen to me cry about this sometimes, and she'd say, you have to forgive yourself. It was a long time ago. So it seems she's changed her stance on that. Let's go to this one. This is from Aaron Lives in His Car at mailinator.com. It uses Danielle's full name, so I'm not going to read that, but it says that I stalked both of them. Gabby, you are stalking me with these messages while accusing me of stalking you. Okay. This one comes from Aaron Dichter at mailinator.com. I guess I'm my own fan. It says, remove Gabby videos, take them down. No, they're staying up forever because of these very messages, so I don't think there's much to answer there. More stuff about comparing it to Danielle. I love this one. This is a good one. This one's called Brush Your Teeth by Leave Goobs Alone at mailinator.com. So there's a more of the same language, but I do want to address brush your teeth. There is no doubt that being forced to live in my car has affected a lot of things. Hygiene is a struggle. Anything with hygiene requires running water. So I probably have like some tooth decay from not being able to regularly every day access running water. You can do it with bottled water, but it gets hard because in the desert where I was for a lot of it, you don't want to waste water at all. Other things, a lot of that internal bleeding I'm having is probably caused by having to hold the bathroom for like 12 or more hours at a time, because when you're in Albuquerque, all the gas stations don't let you in. They close down at a certain time simply so that homeless people can't use the bathroom. So I just thought I'd address that because that was an interesting one. This one's called Do the Right Thing by Clyde Cash. What a throwback. Clyde Cash was that was the golden era of lolcows with Chris Chan. My personal favorite is Liquid Chris, which is a whole saga in and of itself. You have to research it. But it was... before all this stuff happened where they tortured this guy into insanity, there was simply a guy who pretended to be him and said that he was an imposter, and it was an absolutely great bit. But Clyde Cash was, I think, the top one before that. Anyway, listen to your family and remove videos of Gabby and go to a hospital. You're actually insane. So my question is, my family is requesting to remove the videos of Gabby. Are you admitting that Jeremy is the other stalker in the comments? Interesting. It's usually Jeremy's position to throw other people under the bus who he's involved with. This one's from Internet Bitch Machine. This one has to be Jeremy because he is pretty clever with these type of things. He did Intranet Fax Machine. But the subject line, "You're a bitch," is not creative. And it's just go to the hospital. Okay. Noted. I was there and you were harassing me while I was there. This one is Aaron Hates Truth at mailinator.com. You never dated Gabby. You're an abusive liar. Remove the videos of Gabby. So this is actually an interesting one. You never dated Gabby. And so let's examine that. I went on many dates with Gabby. I was in love with Gabby. When I would tell Gabby I loved her, she would respond with "I love you too," if it was in voice, or sometimes she would respond with weird stuff in text. But it brings up an interesting point. Someone with antisocial personality disorder only interacts with people to manipulate. So really, she hasn't dated anyone. She simply uses people to manipulate them for her purposes. Now, I know that sounds rough, but it's a pathology, so that's just what she does. Gabby can't date people in the way that people think of dating. But I would say that I dated Gabby, but it is not necessarily true that Gabby dated me. Okay. In court. You're going to lose in court. You are a sick stalker, and everybody knows from You're Going to Lose at mailinator.com. Well, no, I'm not going to lose in court. I'm not going to win either. There's probably not going to be court because the whole thing was basically made up by Detective Taylor. Okay, let's move on to the next. You're dangerous at mailinator.com. You are dangerous to women. That's why Gabby and Danielle are terrified of you. I'm not dangerous to anybody. But people are entitled to their feelings. Danielle probably has a good reason to be upset about her treatment. Gabby is not terrified of me. And how can I tell you? Because she's typing these menacing messages. She could just have walked away. Really, as I said, my interest was to know that she was alive and safe. And around the time I figured that out, she started being vicious. So, you had all the power, Gabby. Let's look up... So this one teased me off a little bit. It's Melancholy Truth, but it's spelled wrong, and that really irritates me. stoplyingaaron@mailinator.com. So this is from Gabby's dad, probably because he spells my name wrong. Quit lying about Gabby. I would be happy to offer you this. If you can point out a lie that I have told about Gabby on this channel, not including speculation about psychological disorders, because I'm not qualified to make those calls, but if you see a fact that I've relayed about something that happened that is in fact a lie and can demonstrate that, I will remove that fact. That is my offer to you. You are the reason for the Me Too movement. Truth hurts, huh? So I got to tell you, like, we're reusing insults at this time, and I have a whole video addressing why it's very, very telling that you guys are using Me Too in that way. You are abusive and dangerous to women. Leave Goob's Arts alone. I feel like there's a lot of repetition here. I feel like you guys could have been more creative. And this one, this is my favorite. You are sick. Go to the hospital and stop harassing Gabby on YouTube. This one is from email address stevenrules@mailinator.com. So Gabby's not going to throw her dad under the bus by saying Steven rules. Jeremy is a little more creative than that, and this is too benign. It isn't vicious enough for Jeremy. This is Steven, a 50-year-old man harassing someone from an email address that says his name rules. So, like, it's very interesting. I never met the guy, but he sounds like a trip. And that is the end of yesterday's fan mail. I had a blast answering the fan mail. I really feel like we could have expanded the scope of like, you guys could have had some questions for me about things. It was just really just a lot of vicious one-liners with no basis in reality and no willingness to elaborate on these very, very strong things that you're positing, and with no accountability. Anyway, everybody have a great day.